So our project is based off of social media. Social media has become such a big part of our daily lives these past few years, especially the years that we've been in college. And some people don't know exactly how to use it in the best way and kind of start to hurt their reputation. Here, I just want you guys to listen to something that defensive end J.J. Watt told a bunch of prospective high school students trying to get into college on what they should do, like in regards to their social media presence.
To be too serious here, but the social media is a big deal now, obviously.
Right.
And what advice would you give kids about that? Because it can work both ways, right?
Read each tweet about 95 times before you send it. Look at every Instagram post about 95 times before you send it. There's just, a reputation takes years and years and years to build, and it takes one press of a button to ruin. So don't let that happen to you. You've done so much work, you've put in so much time, so much effort. Don't let one moment ruin your entire life because you wanted to be funny or you were mad or because you had a mood. Just be extremely smart about what you do. And if you use it properly, you can use it unbelievably. And you can do great things with social media. You can interact with your fans and have a lot of fun and share with the world what you're doing. But just be very smart about it.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that we know personally that have not done this, but here are some other instances of people that you've seen, like on ESPN, other people who have lost their jobs because of this. One big one is Kurt Schilling. He decided to reference Muslim extremists to Germans and Nazis, and he lost his job because of this tweet. Then Rashard Mendenhall was a running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he lost many endorsements after Bin Laden was killed because he was just saying, we've only heard one side of the story. Why do people celebrate a person's death? And then right here, one of Mizzou's running backs got in trouble for saying that we should leave one of our offensive coaches in Arkansas after we lost a game. And then Cardale Jones, he said, why do we have to go to class? We came here to play football. We didn't come here to play school. Classes are pointless. Then just some random waitress said, next time you tip me $5 on a $138 bill, don't even bother coming in because I'll spit in your food. And then blank, blah, 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 blah. And then someone accidentally messed up their work account with their personal account here on Twitter and said, I find it ironic that Detroit is known as the Motor City. No one knows how to effing drive. So how are we going to fix this?
All right, so that's where our app, Social Agent, comes into play. It's a third-party application that is used as a safety net for either athletes, celebrities, or even everyday people to make sure that they are keeping a clean social media presence. So we use two different ways to check if a post is good enough to put out there in the public. First, we use a curse word detection. That accounts for 50% of the grade that the post ends up getting. So this goes through and looks for, are there any bad words in this post? But we all know that you can post things without saying a bad word and it could still be very detrimental. So that's where we also have the other 50% where we ask people that you know, people that you trust, hey, look at my post, make sure that I'm not saying anything stupid that's going to get me fired or whatever. And then, so any post under 50% will not be sent to Facebook or Twitter. Here are the different tools that we used. We used Swift, which was our language, Xcode, Parse, and then the two frameworks, Facebook, SDK, and then Fabric for Twitter.
So this is a little bit of the algorithm that we implemented. The first thing that we have is a dictionary, which isn't shown here, but it's just a list of like a bunch of offensive words, phrases, racist terms, stuff like that. So what this algorithm does is it scans each post for any term or phrase in the potential user's post and adds up, it accumulates the value. So for example, if Joe Random says, a post with two terms in the dictionary, then it automatically gives you an auto grade of 50, and that's below the 50% threshold, so it can't be posted to social media. However, if the context was good, obviously the auto check doesn't pick up context, so that's where the user check comes in. Next slide. That's the user check. So the user can enter the code for the particular user that they're wanting to review, give you a thumbs up, and it's an automatic 100% human grade. So each one is weighted 50% like he said. So then both of them combined are added together, and then with a 50% auto check, 100% human grade, that would put you above the 50% threshold, and it could be posted to social media from there.
So different problems. Different problems we encountered. We didn't have enough hardware to start, I guess. We actually didn't get 4 MacBooks to use until right before spring break, so that was kind of fun to pass them off as we worked. I'm the only one that had any experience with Swift 2, so these guys were trying to learn on the fly, and Swift 2 is pretty new, so there's not a ton of documentation for them to go off of. And Instagram wasn't supported by our frameworks, so we had to ditch that.
And then here we're going to go to a little bit of a live demo of our presentation. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Let's see. So here we're just kind of logging into our Facebook account through our application. And then we decided to go to post our first post in here, and I say hi RJI, and then I click send. And here I'm given a grade of 100%. But just for fun, I decided to wait for review, and here's all the things I have waiting to be reviewed. Then I decided to post something a little bit worse, and I said, this class is stupid as hell. I click send, and I see the grade was given a 75% because it got docked a little bit for saying hell. Here, I'll slow this down a little bit. So then we decided to just go ahead and wait for review again and see it's put into our little table view that we have here. And then I decided to go, let's just go a little bit worse just for fun. Then I said, fuck Capstone. This shit is stupid, and I don't need it. I'm awesome. And go ahead and click send here. And then I'm given a little message saying this is unacceptable. You should not be posting this on social media. And here where you used to see the Facebook and Twitter icons, those have now disappeared, so it won't even let you post it in the app because it's so bad. So here I decided to go ahead and edit the post. Whoops, sorry about that. Whoops, here we go. Okay, yeah, so here I decided to edit it and delete it. And I said, I love Capstone. It is the greatest course I've ever taken. I hope Joe gives me an A. Go ahead and click send. And here, because I was given a grade of 100%, I decided I don't need to have peer review, and I decided to post straight to Facebook. And here you can see it's messing around with the API. It lets me choose who I want to post, and I can even change my location. I went ahead and clicked send. And here I go to Twitter, and I do the same exact thing here. And then after this, I decided to go to the other portion of our app, which is the user review, being on the reviewer side. Here, this shows me like my app, my code that I can give to anyone that I trust to review my app. We thought about doing a couple things here, but instead we decided that we're just going to have it so they can copy paste it and send it to them on Facebook or Twitter on their own. Just they'll copy it onto their iPhone, and then they click paste wherever. And here, we went ahead and posted that thing in here, pretending to be someone else. And we looked at my post that said, this class is stupid as hell, and I decided to give it a thumbs down. Then here, logged in as me, we go to our pending posts, and we go to that class is stupid as hell, and you can see that I was given a viewer score of 0 because none of the people who reviewed it said it was any good, and it was given 37.5 because it was the 50-50 of our dictionary score and reviewer score. Because it's so low, I decided to delete it. And I think that's it.
Great. Any questions for Social Agent?
I really appreciate that you had to learn Swift from the ground up to do the project, and so this is a very new platform. Just so you know, there's a good piece of work you didn't actually have to do because iOS has a thing called the social framework, and I'm not talking about the part where you're taking care of the social, but typically now the user is logging into Facebook or Twitter in their preferences, and then you just post through the social framework to the already logged in accounts. So the kind of management of the account stuff, and you would get all of the social abilities then on the device. Were you aware of that, and was there a reason you skipped it?
A little bit with that. We worked a little bit with the social framework, and that was also this framework that we realized that Instagram was not. We could not use Instagram with that one.
Thank you, team. We appreciate your presentation.